Alright, what's happening everybody? I'm your man Akeen, here to recap week 10 of the college football season. Great game this past Saturday between the top two defenses in the nation. Number 1 LSU against number 2 Alabama. Both of these defenses showed up in this matchup and they have been living up to the hype. LSU ended up prevailing 9-6, a good overtime thriller, but I'm a little shocked of the Alabama Crimson Tide, who I had winning this matchup. Had a couple of mental miscues in this game, a couple of penalties, and the field goals for Alabama, 2 for 6 in this matchup. If they had made at least one more before overtime, they would have ended up pulling the 9-6 victory. But the 4 missed field goals was key to this victory for the victory for LSU. Special teams ended up being the deciding factor in this matchup. Now overall in the BCS rankings, LSU is still number 1. The new number 2 is Oklahoma State, and Alabama just went down one slot to number 3. And I'm a fair guy, and I believe that this is unfair. Stanford is ranked number 4 and Boise State is ranked number 5. I believe that Alabama should be ranked behind both of these teams. Now I do believe that Alabama is the better team, just like LSU, and that Stanford and Boise State cannot compete against these two teams. But I'm a fair guy, and I believe that Boise State and Stanford should earn an opportunity to play for that national championship. Alabama lost this game, so they should go to the back of the bus, in my opinion, and give these other teams an equal opportunity to play for that national championship against LSU, who I believe will play for that national championship. But we will see. We still got a couple of key matchups later on in the season. A couple of matchups that I talked about on Wednesday. My upset game of the week, I picked Iowa over Michigan, in which they did win 24-16 due to a great performance by running back Marcus Coker, 132 yards rushing and 2 scores. He had a great game. But the real upset game of the week, surprising upset, Northwestern over Nebraska, 28-25. Nebraska quarterback Dan Persa, he was out for the game due to a shoulder injury. He had to leave the game, and in comes Kane Coulter, who orchestrated a couple of great drives, a touchdown pass as well as 2 touchdown runs that he converted himself, in which Nebraska ended up losing 28-25. Now the Big Ten standings, the Big Ten championship is still up for grabs now. Nebraska has 2 losses. Wisconsin has 2 losses. Wisconsin, I had the favor to win the Big Ten championship. Michigan State has 2 losses, as well as Michigan. Penn State is undefeated in conference play, so they are now the favorites to win that championship. But they have a great game this week against Nebraska. I'll let you know on Wednesday who's going to win this matchup. Going to the Big 12 Conference, Oklahoma State had a nail-biter against Kansas State, squeaking past them 52-45. Kansas State had a great defensive scheme that ended up converting 4 turnovers against the Cowboys in this matchup, and that was the key to their 45 points. But they deserve a lot of credit. I believe that this is a great team. They do deserve to be ranked in the top 15 in the nation. I understand why. They're not good enough to face the top talent, but they could give you a good fight in this matchup, and losing by just 7 points at Oklahoma State says a lot for Kansas State. Sticking with the Big 12 Conference, Oklahoma pounded Texas A&M 41-25, but had a tragic loss in Ryan Broyles, who tore his ACL in the game, and he will be out for the rest of the season. He is the FBS career reception leader, and this is a tough loss. Also, it dropped down his stock for the NFL draft, this upcoming NFL draft. Now, he still has time to recover and get back into shape, but his stock dropped dramatically, and I think he can still be at least a 3rd round pick in this year's NFL draft. But I'll keep you guys posted on the NFL draft at the end of the college football season, and I'll keep you posted on those latest news. Going to the Big East Conference, Cincinnati ended up edging Pittsburgh 26-23. Cincinnati is now the leader of the Big East Conference with just 1 loss. They control their own destiny and winning that Big East championship. But the disappointing team that I'm upset about is West Virginia, who lost again to Louisville 38-35. Another stunning loss. Teddy Bridgewater had a good game. The offense for the Mountaineers had a great game, but the defense did not show up, and that's why the Cardinals won this key matchup. Cardinals ended up getting their 3rd straight victory with the win over West Virginia. Going back to the Big 12, my Texas Longhorns ended up hosting the Texas Tech Raiders, who had and the Texas Longhorns had 439 yards rushing, winning 52-20. They're getting their running game together. They're actually running the football great. Now they have to deal with this quarterback controversy between David Ash and Case McCoy, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. Now, overall this week, I went 9-3, still sticking up with my 70 percentage rating. And a couple of other games that I lost was the Temple game against Ohio 35-31, but I did win the FSU game over Boston College 38-7. And another game that I called out was the Southern Miss game against East Carolina, where they ended up pulling off over 40 points in that victory over the Pirates. Now, keeping you guys posted with the latest news in college football. Missouri is now effective on July 1st, 2012. They will now join the SEC East and join that division of the SEC Conference. Also, sticking with the SEC, Houston Nutt, the head coach for Ole Miss, he will resign at the end of the season. So will Pete Spoon, the athletic director of Ole Miss. And bad news for Penn State. Former Penn State defensive coordinator Jerry Sandusky has been charged with 40 criminal accounts of a sexual abuse case. And this sucks for Penn State, who has been dealing with a lot of off-the-field issues for the past couple of seasons. Joe Paterno is now being investigated, and I'll keep you guys posted later on in the season. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys is on Wednesday, where I will give you my Week 11 key matchups and predictions. Thank you for watching today's blog. From Sports News Insider, I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.